Hi again, church family. I get the privilege of coming to you again and touching base with you and telling you what's been happening here. I'm working from home still and have been getting a stream of stories about how you are able to care for and connect with the people that you love. Our church family, your neighbors, your co-workers, people that are in your own family. And it makes me so proud to see that God is not only working in you, but you're letting Him work through you. So thank you for that. It takes the whole church family to care for the whole church family. And if you're not on the front lines caring for people, you may be one of the people who is struggling. Another stream of stories that I've been seeing and getting is coming from people who are really struggling, really having a hard time figuring out how to process what they're experiencing, or what to do while they're experiencing what they're experiencing. Last Sunday, we started a series called Social Undistancing, how to find the wisdom and power to get closer to people and to go deeper with people, specifically the top 5 most essential relationships. This morning, while I was thinking and praying for you and for other people who are struggling, I kept being drawn back by the Spirit to this text right here in 1 Peter. And this text describes to us how to face fiery trials of various kinds. And it doesn't say to grin and bear it. God doesn't instruct us through Peter to kind of wish it away or pray it away. In fact, he says these fiery trials are a test of the genuineness of your faith. In other words, if you persevere, if you endure through the constant tests and struggles and turmoil and trouble, specifically of being persecuted for being a Christian, but also in the various trouble that you're now facing, if you endure and persevere, it's evidence that your faith is real. It's evidence that your faith is genuine, and that there are ways to endure. And what he instructs us to do, the wisdom and power that he gives us, is this. He says that your focus has to be devoted to what is to come. And if you can focus on what's to come, then you can have an expectant attitude. And then, if you have an expectant attitude, that will affect your mood. So your attitude generates a new mood. And the mood that is described here in the scriptures from Peter is to be glad. Why would we be glad? Well, if you're expectant and you focus on the future, you will have a new mood called happy, glad. And the reason is because there is a joy to come. There is a priceless inheritance to come. But also, beyond that, beyond what we dug into on Sunday morning, we have something more and something different. And that is that those who endure, those who are facing the test of their faith, who belong to Jesus, also can expect that in the future there won't just be a priceless inheritance, but currently on the ground right now in real life, you have a partnership with Christ. What does that mean? That means that you share in His sufferings. It reminds me really of the brotherhood that veterans experience. Lifelong connection, lifelong care for each other. The brotherhood of a war veteran who has shared battle together, have a bond that's unbreakable. It's unique, and it is a knittedness that really is life-changing. And what we learn in Peter is that when you face suffering, you actually identify with Jesus. You partner with His sufferings to the degree in which there's a lifelong bond with Jesus. You have a depth of understanding of who He is based on sharing almost a battle or a wartime experience. And that brotherhood is a lifelong brotherhood. It changes your life when you can identify with Jesus to the level in which you know suffering like He knew suffering. And He enters your suffering. He understands your suffering, because we don't have a high priest who hasn't suffered. We have one who has suffered far more and far deeply than we ever could. But He wants to share that with us. In fact, here's how Peter writes it. He said, instead, of being surprised at the fiery trials that you faced and being surprised as if something strange were happening. He says, instead, be very glad. Be happy. Have a happiness about you, a gladness about you. For these trials make you partners with Christ in his suffering, so that you will have the wonderful joy of seeing his glory when it is revealed to the world. So you have a partnership now, and then you have a prize later of seeing Jesus' supreme value and worth. If you endure, and when you persevere through the trouble in life, not just this trouble of our COVID crisis, but any trouble, when you persevere, you share in the prize of seeing the infinite beauty of Jesus, being with him, seeing him up close and personal. It'll be revealed to you for your spiritual eyes and spiritual ears to see and hear. And you'll experience that because you belong to him and you've persevered through. So available to us is a new wisdom and new power to get closer to people, to get deeper in relationships, starting with the way that we relate to ourselves. And the way that we relate to ourselves brings new joy, and it brings an expectant attitude. And through that, you experience Jesus in a fresh and a new way. So that's what I'm thinking about. That's what I'm praying for you as I bring you and your family before God in prayer. And I'm grateful to know you, to lead you, to love you. And it's my hope that you sense him near, and that as you relate to yourself, that you sense his power. The prize is ahead. There's a partnership available, and I pray that you experience it deeply. So look forward to seeing you soon, God willing, and in the meantime, keep loving and leading there in your own heart, your home, and in your neighborhood.